Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the subject of this video, for the subject of this video, I'm going to be discussing one of the more infamous television specials of all time, which is a 1995 Fox special, Alien Autopsy Fact or Fiction. Now, I'm going to discuss other uh, alien shows that appear on television and turn out to be a fake. Most notably, the alien abduction, uh, with the McPherson family. Uh, I think it was also subtitled Fact of Fiction as well. Um, no, it's the Alien Abduction Incident in County. That's what it was. That's what the subtitle was. And I also discussed the 1984 Roswell film. So check those videos out if you haven't seen them yet. In this particular review, I'm going to be discussing like I said before, the 1995 uh, special for Alien Autopsy Fact or Fiction, which aired on the Fox network in August of 1985, and I think within a week or 10 days or 2 weeks later, it re-aired again. Because it got at least over 20 million people tuning in to watch that show, and I happen to be one of those 20 million people who watched it here in the United States. And this show was just fascinating to watch this thing. Because, of course, in previous videos they've done, well, the Roswell crash, I kind of heard rumors that there was an actual alien autopsy. One of the many stories that came out, one of the many interviews that came out from one of the witnesses saying that they were doing an alien autopsies of the aliens that died in the crash of Roswell. So, naturally, of course, you're always wondering if it was actually filmed or not. One of those autopsies were filmed, but who the heck knows? But in 1985, right, Mason Tilley, who owned a video distribution business in London, says, "Hey, I got this footage of an actual alien autopsy." So what he did was he sold the footage uh, to the Fox network, and they did this whole special around it. And of course, not even around the time of the special, even before the special had aired, people who actually interviewed for this special was notably Kevin Mandel, who wrote one of the first books on the Roswell crash, and I believe somebody else as well, who was a noted, uh, you know, an autopsy expert, says that they feel that this thing was faked, the film was faked. And true enough, not too long afterwards, like maybe a few, I think it was either around the time or a few years after it aired, Mason Tilley finally admitted that hey, this thing was fake, and the main excuse that he gave, Mason Tilley gave, was the fact that he did receive a film of an alien autopsy, but the problem was that the film had degraded to the point that he couldn't really use it, but or transfer it to an actual videotape and sell it. He couldn't do it because so he says the film had degraded. So what he did was he recreate what he was able to see in the film that wasn't degraded. They reenacted the film, and that's what he sold to the Fox network and other networks across not only well, the United States was the Fox network, but other television networks across the planet, across the world, they sold this to, and he mentioned that hey, I faked this thing because the original film had degraded, but this film got huge ratings here in the United States. Like I said before, over 20 million people saw it, and it was hosted by Jonathan Frakes, who, of course, most people know him from starring on Star Trek: The Next Generation and the four Next Generation uh, feature films. He hosted this thing, and according to him, he did that's for to get the paycheck because Star Trek: Next Generation, the television series, it ended the year before, 1994, and the first feature film turned out to be, which was Star Trek Next Generations, turned out to be was a mediocre film, got crappy reviews, and didn't do so great in the movie theaters. So he did this thing for a paycheck. And I don't know how true that is. I mean, I never heard Jonathan Frakes publicly say anything about it, as far as I know. I know there's any videos on that on YouTube here, but that's what he said. But there were actual people who actually were involved in the Roswell crash. Uh, Notably, Jesse Marcel Jr., and he felt that on the film, they even put this in the special, and you can check out that special on YouTube. Um, there was a part of the film where they showed like the I beams, and said that's not the I beam that I handle. He even said this in the show. That was not the I beam that I saw, that I handled. And he showed much smaller I beams that he handled. When his father, Jesse Marcel Sr., brought it home from him. And of course, there was a couple of other witnesses who also interviewed for this. One other witness, Frankie Rowe, was also interviewed for this thing, and she told uh, her story and how the army told him to shut up and all this type of thing. And Kevin Randall also did his own research on this thing. Said, hey, but I cut out the part of the interview, Kevin Randall anyway, saying, hey, this film, this alien autopsy is fake. But it is a pretty convincing video of what they had. And now for a long time, the actual footage, the autopsy footage, was actually available on YouTube. It was about maybe almost 20 minutes long. But it's a silent film, so it's kind of hard to watch a silent film, even though it was only almost 20 minutes in length, on YouTube without any background noise or anything else, or background music, all that stuff. But for some reason, once again, YouTube says "fuck you" to the copyright news, and they pulled the footage off. But it's a funny thing, they pulled the alien autopsy footage off of the site, but they did not pull the special off the site, which to me doesn't make sense. Because not too long after the show aired on Fox Network, the video version, there were no DVDs quite yet. The VHS of the video came out, and it did include the autopsy film on the VHS, the complete autopsy film on the VHS tape. I think also the DVD, when the DVD came out, it also put the alien footage on the DVD as well. So it doesn't make sense for me to find the original special on YouTube and then the footage deleted. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, they pulled the copyright for the autopsy footage, but not the special itself. I mean, it just totally does not make sense to me. I know that Doug Walker, who is a Nostalgia Critic, he's been doing these videos complaining about the copyright on YouTube here. But he's been doing. I haven't seen all those videos, but at least he's doing something. Luckily for me, for my views here, I haven't been touched because they don't use clips of the shows or the movies that I've been reviewing. But because it's just me here talking about it. The most they do is maybe show the DVD or the video of whatever movie I'm talking about. But that's about as far as I've gone with my videos. But getting back to the alien autopsy thing, it was an interesting special because I know about the Roswell story, and so there was just another Roswell special that came down the pike, and we haven't had a real new. And at that time of this thing in 1985, we didn't really have a new Roswell thing for about like 6 years. Since on Unsolved Mysteries, they did a whole thing. They got maybe half the show, slightly more than half the show, was just on the Roswell story in 1989. So 6 years later, you have this thing, and you think, oh, this is fascinating to see this alien autopsy. It was gross to see aspects of it. You can see the blood, you can see the fake blood and and the body cut open and the typical T formation as you would see in normal autopsy. But for the show itself, I think it's pretty good for what it was, and it did like Jonathan Frakes narrating this thing, even though, like I said earlier, he really just did it for the paycheck. But for the show itself, I thought the show was good. At least they had actual experts on there. They had people who were involved with the Roswell incident, um, who knew about it, who lived through it, interviewing this thing. So that's what kind of made this thing a little more legit. Um, but trying to quote find the cameraman, and the cameraman, it never resolved that who the cameraman was in the end of the original special. But they did one in a different version in Europe, over I think it was the Sky Network, and they hired a homeless guy, the homeless man, to play the part of the cameraman. So, oh, I'm the cameraman. Thankfully, they did not do that here in the United States. Thank goodness. But on the Fox Network special, but when they did that, you knew they were like slightly overdoing it on that. So this is one of the first frauds that ever came down the pike in terms of with the alien stuff. The next one, which I did a whole review on, which was the alien abduction incident in Lake County video, there was the next fake, and but this was really was the first fake in terms of the alien stuff, and it was really shameful that they actually did this thing on the American public and on the public of the planet to pull this stuff. And it's, to me, it's still an interesting topic to talk about the Roswell thing. And I do watch these shows all the time on YouTube, the UFO hunters, and plus other um, the Roswell crash that was on the Sci-Fi Channel, which is, those shows you can't see on YouTube. They haven't pulled yet, so watch them before. I suggest you watch these shows before they get pulled by the copyright garbage. Um, but in terms of the alien autopsy, it's still a fun watch. And I suggest you watch that thing while it's still on YouTube. And it's still, but unfortunately, like I said earlier, the alien autopsy film is not on here because it's been pulled. But the show itself, I still give it a positive review because of the impact it had at the time. Even though they said the film was faked. That's what everybody always remembers, that it was faked. They don't remember how big the special was at that time, or how interesting, or how many people tuned in to watch this thing. Two aired in August, and there's very few new stuff that airs in August. But I know I'm going on a tangent, but but it still holds up pretty well today. At least I think so. Even though you know that the footage is fake, they make it good enough and interesting enough for you to watch. So that's my review of the alien autopsy fact or fiction. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. And once again, I'm sorry that I'm not disabling the comment section. If you watch the video on that, you know why. I might change my mind, maybe, eventually. Because all that stuff is pretty much dying down now, so who knows, maybe it will. Please comment down below. Maybe I'll do this video just this once, see what happens to let people comment on it. So please comment, please rate this video, please comment down below, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can also check out all my videos on my not only on my YouTube channel, but also at rowdyc.com. That's all WDY. C.com is the homepage of the Rowdy Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. Please check out all of his videos, his TV trash videos, and all of his other content. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.